Hey everybody, Evan Kirstel here with the CPaaS Acceleration Alliance. It's Monday. I apologize for that, but I do have a fantastic session here with some very esteemed industry professionals in advance of CASA 23, the CPaaS Acceleration Summit in Amsterdam, September 18th through 20th. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the state of the CPaaS market and where it is headed. Let's introduce the folks here. We'll start off with Ana from Infobip, a company that's on a super exciting trajectory. Many in the U.S. have not heard of Infobip, but they should and will. Ana, maybe introduce yourself and a little bit about your bio and background, and what do you do at Infobip?
Sure. Hi, everybody. Thank you for the introduction. It's a pleasure to be here with you, sharing some insights and expertise from the Infobip perspective. My name is Ana. I work at Infobip as somebody responsible for actually acceleration. I like the word acceleration. So in that sense, if you ask me what I'm kind of focused on in Infobip is actually how accelerating the opportunities we have with different organizational segments and different industry verticals across the world. So I'm involved very much in the strategy and the go-to-market and how Infobip, as you already said, maybe not yet so known in the United States, but that will change, I'm sure, very soon. But how do we position this company, among other things, as somebody who actually understands the pains and opportunities across different verticals in the B2C segment, in the B2B segment, and how our solutions actually help with those problems. So this is and Infobip has been here for some time, a globally present company across with more than 70 offices around the world. And Infobip is here to really innovate when it comes to democratizing the communication between brands and their target customers, and making this world go even more conversational than it is today.
Fantastic. Infobip, a billion-dollar unicorn
Absolutely.
in the CPaaS
Bootstrap.
space and
Yeah.
beyond. Bootstrapped, yeah,
Yeah.
very interesting story. We look forward to hearing more, and we look forward to hearing from Michael Brandenburg. Michael's, gosh, can I say you've been 50 years in this space, or you've been
It,
around a long time, Michael?
it maybe in dog years. Yeah. No, I'm Mike Brandenburg, senior industry analyst here at Frost&Sullivan. I'm part of the connected work team, which is, our name for unified communications and collaboration space. I started in IT building, or trying to build some of the solutions that Anna was talking about, and struggled with that in the before time. But kind of in terms of my coverage, I've been here about 12 years here at Frost, covering the communications market, and about half of that has been covering this emerging CPaaS market. I've kind of watched it go from a couple companies just trying to do something a little different to really disrupting the entire market. So it's great to see the progress.
Yeah, no, it's amazing to see the progress, and the entire market is enormous. It used to be about messaging and text and maybe voice, but it's much more than that, Anna, right? I mean, it is encompassing CX and consumer segments of all kinds. How do you even define the market these days, Anna, from your
Yeah,
perspective at
that's an
Infobip?
amazing question. And what you just said, when I think about, what communication is and how it evolves and what kind of role different players have in this space, including obviously Infobip. You can really see that. I mean, especially I would say the recent times. Yeah, you can see that 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 when I say the world is going conversational, then I mean, that within the CPaaS market, we see more and more use cases and applications of the channels themselves and all the engagement stack that comes upon it. We kind of see that more and more use cases are here that go beyond something that we might be used to in terms of either is it a channel like SMS, MMS, or SIP trunking, or is it like 2FAs and OTPs and the number maskings as use cases that we are used to and with like high volumes. We now see, more and more brands reaching out to actually CPaaS providers to make sure that they evolve when it comes to the communication or interaction with their customers, that they keep it or evolve it into something much more personal, something much more tailored, something that brings, more satisfaction, more conversion, more reach, and kind of even altogether, let's say, better customer experience to all of their consumers. So we see it across different industry verticals. We see it in both like smaller organization sizes like SMEs, obviously the big ones such as different enterprises across the segment. And what's very interesting is that, for a long time, I would say that, digital native companies were the ones who were driving this CPaaS growth, were the ones who were, because they are kind of, it comes natural to them. They are tech savvy. They know their customer. They know what a good customer experience is, and they actually differentiate themselves, like between themselves, by really kind of going that extra mile in bringing this relationship with the customer, going beyond transaction. And then when you see like for the past few years, you see more and more traditional enterprises across verticals like and SMBs, obviously, across verticals like retail and banking and entertainment, reaching out to see what they can do, to improve that experience. And as time will go by, I'm absolutely sure that this added value will come from those use cases. Where is it marketing? Is it sales? Is it customer support? Doesn't matter. But it's how do you leverage this omni-channel, personalized, Gen AI powered, at the end of the day, a kind of interaction with your end consumer to be kind of closer and to make sure your business thrives. I think we are kind of living in a very interesting times when it comes to this shift from maybe more transactional to more customer experience driven use cases within CPaaS.
Yeah, no, it's exciting times. And, Michael, you attend all the industry events, you talk to all the vendors and providers and telcos out there. How do you segment the market, both in terms of the applications, the revenue impact, the dollars and cents? I mean, it's such a complex space. What's your kind of philosophy there at Frost?
Well, I think we're very much at early stages. And, when I started covering it, it was, as I mentioned, there was a couple standalone providers that were offering these services. If you kind of look at how doing things like SMS and things were really complicated. They were, you go to your telco and set up a professional services engagement and, spend lots of money and have, and get one channel. What CPaaS, I love Anna's word previously of democratized it. It was kind of the first gen CPaaS folks, really disrupted the market and made it those channels consumable. Next is kind of where the democracy comes in is you still needed a lot of developers. So the digital natives were really first there because they had the teams that could just consume the APIs and start start talking to customers. The introduction of low code, no code, AI, all of these technologies into the ecosystem make it easy that even an SMB with very low staff, a couple maybe a nerd or two on the team can really bring these use cases to life and build exactly a solution for their market, for their business, for their vertical, and focus it on the use cases that matter to them and drive revenue. So it's watching that progression from really complex into, your grandma's Etsy shop can almost do this is really the interesting thing for me. And I think though, kind of this end state is at some point all communications will be programmable. We won't have these closed systems that are islands of communication or collaboration that over time an API is going to be the first thing that you look at when you decide on a particular communication service to adopt, not whether it rather than the kind of the cookie cutter solutions that we had 50 years of telco services driving that.
Yeah, and that's so interesting to me is not just the technology, but the business model behind it. And Ana, you have a really interesting one that's proven successful. So maybe you can share your secret sauce, because it's not only working with developers in large enterprise and beyond, but it's enabling the telcos, traditional telcos, and other providers to be successful. Describe that approach, if you would.
Exactly. This is it's the magic happens in the orchestration of different channels that go towards the end customer, and that kind of, when you want to really minimize this fraction between different channels and skipping from one to the other, and making sure that it's as seamless as possible, and that you do not need as a customer to repeat every once in a while what kind of problem you have or what kind of problem you're trying to solve, but there's somebody who really has all of that unified and understands where you dropped off the last time they talked to you, is something that not to mention when we try to kind of orchestrate different channels to perform some kind of marketing activities. So, you are where your customer is. You talk to your customer where in the channel they prefer at the time where they prefer. And then when you have, we have a SaaS stack that kind of goes as an overlay to the channels, communication channels that we have as well. And then we talk about whether it's some campaign managers that you can use to really kind of bring those channels together and perform some campaigning through a really end-to-end omni-channel way towards your consumers, whether it's kind of combining, I don't know, Instagram and WhatsApp, or whether it's combining some other channels, but you are kind of making sure that this experience and that conversation with your customer is uninterrupted, as seamless as possible, and that these dropout rates and are as low as possible, that engagements, that you create some environment for the very engagement, that you create some virtual bots that actually can lead the customer through that conversation. So this is what adds value to the very channel that we have, not to mention the contact centers and our conversations that make sure that, like, when you need scale and when you need to kind of orchestrate a lot of conversations between different customers, then we provide that on top of the channels. And plus, obviously, something that comes more and more as an added value is our people, our CDP platform. And because, without knowing your customer and understanding and collecting all the data possible to properly manage and segment that customer base, it's not that efficient and it's not that successful. So all of that, when it's kind of brought together, and it's very important how we bring it together to SMEs and to enterprises across different verticals, it actually gives you this pure omni-channel kind of stack that you can use to communicate with your customers.
Fantastic. And Michael, tell us about the telco perspective on this. Is this where is the market today? Where is it going? Is this really a primarily telco opportunity? Is it through the middle, partnering with telcos in general and CPaaS, or, are telcos going to be disrupted ultimately by CPaaS providers, or some mix of the three? It could be perhaps pretty complicated.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think a lot of the telcos in the space are going to disrupt themselves. We can't build these solutions the way we did before. It's put a box in and plug it in and hope it sells. It's really customers are businesses in general, the telco customers are yearning to take advantage of all these digital capabilities. And if the telco provider doesn't have those or doesn't partner with to deliver on those, they're going to find somebody else that will. And so that's really the imperative there. I think there's, kind of with this CASA event, I think it'd be interesting to see the relationships that develop out of that, and really kind of drive the entire market to this kind of programmable, extensible, platform solution rather than the boxes. There's, you see some partnerships, you see some early strategy approaches coming out of it, but I think it's I think the disruptors will have to pull the telcos along. I'm certain Ana can speak to this, but there's a lot of co-opetition in the space because not everybody has a network link everywhere in the world. They have to partner together and have to deliver these services across the globe. So to be a global CPaaS, you have to work with those telcos in region, and they have to support your traffic. So I think the reverse is happening as well. Of okay, well maybe we can leverage your platform for our customers to enable this ourselves and kind of extend that. I don't want to call it a wholesale model, but a real partnership model between those.
Yeah, partnership is really interesting, Ana, and it's not just partnering. It's kind of the new API economy. I mean, I just looked at this on your website, just an amazing list of integration and channel opportunities. It's almost so complex. How do you manage that complexity within Infobip of all these channels, all these markets, all these customers? They're emerging, channels, Twitter X, for example, today, and you're everywhere kind of all at once, are you not?
Well, yeah, exactly. That's when we were built. So we are now, when it comes to, it's all about, at the end of the day, when you look at the number of channels, and yes, that's like more than 20 channels available for our customers, and all of them kind of can communicate. And this is where this power of orchestration and end-to-end customer experience comes into play as some kind of an added value. But when we talk about, exactly how do you go out there to the market and stand in front of some SMB potential customer, and then you open up the set of channels and our SaaS stack, and then what do you do? Like how do you send a message towards an e-commerce owner somewhere that they can benefit from the platform and all the channels that we have in place? And then what we did is we actually built something we call experiences, and we will be launching it in September in Brazil. And this is it comes down again to how can we help you? So we as a company need to understand what it's the channel itself is a means for execution of that value that we want to send across the market. And then what we say, okay, SMBs and decision makers within those companies need to have a place where they can come, like a self-service portal or something that they can come and say, okay, I'm a marketing manager in a e-commerce shop in Brazil, and I would like to kind of work a bit on my conversion rate or on my reach. And then this is the question. Like first we tell you there, hi, where are you coming from? What industry? And then we tell you, what job description solution you're into, so we kind of can tailor a bit more the use cases, and then you tell us, which challenges you might have. And then, what we do is we actually take that and then we translate that into a certain solution through a use case. And then we say, try this use case or these 3 use cases. And beneath that, we combine channels. We manage kind of different types of channels that you don't have to worry about. It's more like, okay, now I'm going to package this in a use case that has a purpose that can help with your conversion rates, because it can engage your target customers in the acquisition process, for example. And then we are integrated, obviously, with a lot of other platforms. So in case you are using already one of them, we are there. So no worries about that. And then again, in a way that is relatable, in a way that actually tells the other side, okay, those guys can actually add value to my business. You 3 clicks away and you are using the product. And this is how, when we talk about managing the channels in terms of how are we presenting them and how are we actually turning them into a value proposition, this last experiences that we are launching is absolutely a prime kind of example, especially for the ever-growing SMB market that will actually consume a lot of CPaaS in the times to come. So very, very interesting to get to understand, like, okay, what's relevant? How's one Infobip relevant to the e-commerce players somewhere in Brazil? So a very interesting journey, but I think we are kind of on a good way to caption that value and deliver it to the customer.
So exciting. Well, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be a tech chat if we didn't talk about AI, Michael. So AI, Gen AI fused with CPaaS, is this marketing hype that we're seeing, or is there some practical utility in right now adding AI to the mix with customers?
I think it's a little early, but I'm a skeptic. But I think kind of to everything Ana was saying is like it is the natural progression, because with CPaaS and channels being in the value chain in that B2C relationship, AI brings optimization there. You have a customer that says, I want to check the status of my order. Well, if you can let a Gen AI, go plug in, look for that order, give that answer in a better than a bot fashion, and kind of start sensing tone of the customer, and like, are they angry about this order? Is this delayed? What can we do to make that customer happy before you have to deal with a disgruntled customer talking to a human? I think it plugs in very well. It's you can evolve from kind of taking first level calls in your call center to more expert or handling the 80-20 rule, kind of within the call center, rather than trying to just scale for volume of first pass calls. As an example, I think even on the kind of flip side, you're seeing a lot of code development happening with Gen AI. So it could be I want to build a call flow that looks like this, and take that low code to the next level of how about we build it this way, and it had kind of intelligence on both sides. I think it adds to that democratization of CPaaS and services that we talked about before. So I think that the one thing I wanted to comment about from Ana's comment was you saw that list of all those channels. Could you imagine every SMB going to Apple, going to Google, going to WhatsApp, and trying to I want to add your channel there? So again, that all ties together of you have a broker, I guess, or a platform that brings in the best channels and fits them to regional or personal preferences of WhatsApp's popular in South America more so than SMS, so we'll just tweak the dials to add that, rather than every business trying to build a direct relationship with those channels. So
Great
I think
point.
it all
Almost
comes
an
together well.
aggregation role. That's really intriguing. And Ana, I mean, you're all in on AI. Clearly, you're already talking about various products and solutions, and the amazing efficiencies you get by no code kind of development. Is that your primary strategy here?
Exactly, and this is, I think Michael was spot on when it comes to the, where AI can help, or Gen AI can help in terms of efficiency optimization, in terms of, how do you scale, and how do you make sure that your conversations with your customers are ongoing whenever and wherever, without a lot of effort from your side. And this is where Gen AI really plays a big role, because if we talk about like e-commerce again as a very very specific industry and conversational experience that we provide for SMBs and e-commerce through this product that we are launching, is actually that you can use very specific use cases like order management or transparency with delivery, or a lot of questions about the company itself, where we implemented the Gen AI and we are training it and building it, and where you see a real application that really adds value to the business owner. So yes, I think that combination of and customer communication or conversation on top of the what Michael mentioned as well, Gen AI helping coders code, helping marketeers develop certain content. In terms of the communication and conversation itself, I think it's highly kind of logical, complementary, and applicable to these very journeys that we are enabling our customers with to kind of create a new level of communication with their customers. So it's about interaction, and it's about Gen AI making sure that you are as efficient and as kind of to the point as possible. So yes, it's a lot of focus is on that, and there's a lot of opportunities that we want to grab on that field as well.
Fantastic. Well, this has been a great discussion. We're getting to the bottom of the hour here, but I did want to touch on with you, Michael. I know it's the end of the summer, and here and in Wisconsin, that's a very tragic thing, because we know what's next for you guys and me here in Boston.
Football season, yeah.
Yeah, indeed. But what are you looking forward to in September? I know there's a little event over in Amsterdam that you'll be speaking at and attending.
Yeah, I think I've been talking to the folks at the CPaaS Acceleration Alliance for a few years, really since they launched, and I love the fact we're all getting they're getting everyone together and putting partners or potential partners in the same room, kind of sharing best practices and really getting into how do we make this a real solution for everyone. So I think that's I'm looking forward to seeing insights and impact. I think it's long overdue. As kind of that end state of program where everything's a little bit of programmable embedded into it. No one can do this alone, and I think this event's going to be kind of highlight how partnerships will work and really just kind of cross-pollinate between partners.
And what is your topic on? Do you have a particular angle you're taking?
I'm really just trying to take it all in.
Okay.
I don't think I got a session scheduled yet, but
okay. Well, we'll be waiting with anticipation. And actually, all kidding aside, it's going to be super exciting. And Ana, what about you? What are you looking forward to as we get out of August into September?
Well, when we talk about like CPaaS Acceleration Summit, I think that it's if we need something in terms of all of this that I've mentioned, in terms of transformation, in terms of really making sure that we inspire each other, or we kind of teach or bring knowledge to each other, what works and what kind of applications are there for the businesses, from the very small to the biggest ones out there across the verticals. I think that that kind of conversation to have with different experts from different types of industries or parts of the value chain itself brings a lot of added value to the entire kind of community. And I think that talking about use cases and benefits beyond like these very fundamental ones that we are used to is something that's kind of I'm very much looking forward to. I think that we can all learn a lot from companies, from each other, and that we can really kind of add new value to the entire business and entire industry day by day. So I think that's an amazing opportunity to do exactly that. And there is, Infobip is preparing its Shift conference in Zadar in September as well. So it's again it's been present, or it's been developing for a while now. Year after year, it's getting better and better. More and more people kind of sharing again from the developer's perspective, experience on what works, what doesn't, and what the trends are. And this is something that we kind of, when we talk about developer community, and even more and more people outside of developer community coming to Shift, talking about the evolution of communication and how it works, is something that we are always looking forward to. So I think this one will definitely be the best yet.
Well, I'll be attending Shift. It's my first Shift, my first trip to Croatia. So super excited for that. Super excited for Casa 23. It's just going to be a great back in person kind of event after, quite a long few years. Well, thank you, both of you, so much for sharing all of your insights and analysis. And we'll be hearing a lot more from you and your colleagues. And thanks everyone for watching. Feel free to reach out. Any questions, comments, feedback, otherwise on all the platforms. Stay safe. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thanks.